Promised Land, an Adirondack folk opera, has some powerful characters taking center stage, based on real people. These spirited personalities tell the story of Timbuctoo, a North Elba, New York colony that was created in the 1840s in hopes that its African-American settlers would earn the right to vote, in spite of a law designed to suppress that right. The characters sing of their struggles holding a frontier family together and fighting racism while trying to cultivate the harsh Adirondack soil. The music of this work in progress showcases not only their hardships, but also their hopes for a more inclusive democracy and their respect for the Adirondack terrain.
All day we swept the lake.
Through this opera, you are going to meet some authentic historical characters.
Beholding the procession of the pines.
Lyman Epps is a wonderful character because he was one of the most successful land grantees that we have documented.
Oh, watching when the dogs would chase the deer. Oh, whipping its rough surface for a trout. Challenging echo by our guns and cries. Beholding the procession of the pines.
Lyman Epps first moved to New York City and met his second wife and then moved with her to Troy. They began their family. It became a big family. They had 8 kids. And they moved up here after he got land from Garrett Smith.
And he convinces his young wife, this is a way to improve our lives. I'll be able to vote.
My dear Anna, can't you see that this will give me the vote? We will play our role in this great democracy.
He moves them up to North Elba, becomes an integral part of the community.
He helped to found a church. He helped to develop a library here. He was a member of a fraternal organization that he was on the board of. He started a singing school for children here, and he performed for conventions and meetings with his family. He was a guide, and he was a very prominent guide in this region, and he was said to cut an important pass through the mountains that people still use today. And I think on all these accounts, he established himself as a sort of exemplary Adirondacker who lived the Adirondack lifestyle.
It is even documented that he and his sons actually sang at John Brown's funeral.
Blow ye the trumpet, blow the gladly solemn sound. Let all the nations know to earth's remotest bound.
Blow ye trumpets, blow. This is a tremendous piece of this opera because it's an actual hymn, powerful words, and we're bringing history, authentic history, to this piece.
The year of Jubilee is come. The year of Jubilee is come. Return ye ransom singers home.
There are countless stories told about strong, successful men. I feel it is so important to tell the story of strong women and what they have added to history what they have done to support their husbands and their children and their communities. I'm so pleased that we bring in the stories of these strong women like Mary Brown.
I asked him to pray. I asked him to pray. I asked him to and he preached so feelingly.
I've been researching the life of Mary Brown for more than 20 years, and I do dramatic portrayals of Mary Brown. Oh, my troubles. I've lived through all kinds of troubles. I am Mary Brown, the widow of John Brown, who was hung for raiding Harper's Ferry. When I heard that Helen was starting up the Northern Lights Choir and that they were going to be performing pieces about Timbuctoo, I was very, very excited to be a part of that.
Mary Brown came to this area, North Alba, to help her husband, John Brown, in his job of helping these black land grantees. When he went back to Ohio, she stayed here with her children, and she facilitated helping those black men and women and children find a place to live, connect with neighbors so that they could survive.
He preached so feelingly for his mother and sister in slavery.
Mary Brown knew the people at Timbuctoo on a day-to-day basis. There was a time in 1857 that Mary loaned a black woman $10 and didn't expect to get it repaid really, and so Mary didn't have enough money to pay the tax bill. And so she was very generous with them.
What would you do? What would you do?
What would you do? This is a fantastic song. Picture you have one white woman, Mary Brown. You have one black woman, Anna Epps. And as they sing, you get a sense of their independent stories, their individual lives, and you realize that as they sing, their stories are so much the same.
What will I do now that he's gone? So much more work to do. What will I do? If no one is gone, left alone.
In researching this opera, the characters that lifted out of the history, they were all deeply courageous people. They were all flawed people. And they lived in a time in history when everything was going upside down. And what we really wanted to explore here was the ways that these flawed people lived through a flawed time and tried to make things better.
For more information about Promised Land and Adirondack Folk Opera, including supplementary interviews, head to mountainlake.org/folkopera.
Spotlight is supported by the Glenn and Carol Pearsall Adirondack Foundation, dedicated to improving the quality of life for year-round residents of the Adirondack Park. This project is also supported in part by the National Endowment for the Arts on the web at arts.gov.